Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all staying safe and are keeping as well as possible during this difficult time we are all going through right now. I have not uploaded any content in a very long time due to ongoing health issues, but I have decided to do a film review to take a little bit of focus off self-isolation and COVID-19. I have noticed actually that a lot of people are uploading content at the moment, so I thought I'd join in. So, without further ado, today I will be reviewing that 1980s behemoth hit that was Predator. I have had quite a few requests for this, so I thought I should respond with hopefully a summary which affords this favourite some deserved justice. So stick around and I shall begin. Predator was released in 1987 under John McTiernan's proficient direction, and it was scripted by the screenwriter siblings John and Jim Thomas, who have been responsible for some solid hits if we overlook that dud Wild Wild West. It was Jim Thomas who had established the concept of Predator in 1983, despite no previous experience as a screenwriter, and forthwith approached his brother to collaborate on its execution. The picture's original working title was Hunter, and despite its less than favourable reviews on release, Predator has established itself as an icon within the action genre and has spawned a highly profitable franchise. It has become one of the most popular films of its kind, and there are many retrospective panegyrics devoted to Predator. Predator opens with a quick-paced, synth-heavy score and was composed by Alan Silvestri of Back to the Future fame. His soundtrack seems a suitable pairing to the footage, as the viewer is introduced to the Central American jungle and Arnold Schwarzenegger at his robust best. As the staccato strings allow for an atmospheric experience, any other harmonic offering would just be improper here. Essentially, aliens have released something pernicious onto Earth, and somewhere within the depths of a Central American jungle, a comprehensive team of Vietnam veterans and a CIA agent are dispatched to subvert a mission to abduct a foreign official. The rescue team consists of Major Dutch, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, his mercenaries, and a CIA agent, Dylan, portrayed by Carl Weathers, who has been instructed by Dutch's chief to accompany them on this mission. Some of the film's most famous lines are between Dutch and Dylan, and it features possibly one of the cinema's most alpha male greetings, and copied by fans everywhere. You can almost smell the sweat. If your name is Dylan, you will probably have been subjected to a quote from Predator. Dutch's team happen upon the remains of a helicopter and the gruesomely skinned bodies of Special Forces officers. Then, the rebel operatives, which were the enemy in waiting, are duly exterminated, including a Soviet intelligence official whose MO was to obtain some valuable documents. Suspecting that something is amiss, or that mendacious workings are at play, Dutch questions Dylan, who confesses that actually the mission had been a false pretense, and that the unit tasked with extracting information from imprisoned officers had been concluded as dead. The team discover a survivor of a communist guerrilla force, Anna, who hesitantly accompanies them, under duress really. It becomes apparent that they are not alone amongst themselves. There is a creature, something unnerving, who is observing their movements with the use of thermal imaging, comparable to that of how a snake's vision works, if you like. Anna decides to escape. Hawkins tries to prevent her from doing so, but in turn he is ambushed, killed and taken away by this alien creature. It becomes apparent that this is a film which is heavily reliant on the cat and mouse trope, and although this sounds like a criticism, it's not, as it is the vehicle most suited to this plot. Dutch organises a search for Hawkins' body, and as one might expect, carnage ensues. The creature is wounded by Bill Duke's character Mac, of Commando fame, and when the creature's blood seeps out, it is luminescent green in colour. After reconvening, the group establish that they are being preyed on. Dylan is adamant that guerrilla forces are responsible for the atrocities, yet one agent, Billy, is convinced that the attacker is not human, and that is not an unreasonable conclusion to draw from this really. What does become apparent that this is a predator who's self-aware and enjoys a worthy battle. For example, its victim must be armed, otherwise it would overlook it as there is no sport in it, and this information is used to its detriment ultimately. The creature looks alarming, with an unforgettable countenance, a distinctive jaw, once seen, never forgotten. I think Dutch sums it up nicely.
You one ugly motherfucker.
I will not reveal the ending as usual, but the film draws to a satisfying conclusion. I would recommend Predator for its importance, but also for a sturdy slice of suspense-filled entertainment, and it offers a textbook action film experience. It is basically dripping with testosterone. I managed to glean a cornucopia of facts about Predator. The film actually began as a bit of a joke. In the wake of the Rocky franchise, it was said that the only thing Balboa hadn't fought yet was E.T. The alien's creature's blood was made up of glow sticks and KY jelly, which is both ingenious and gross. KY jelly was actually used in Alien to create the drool, which Ripley was subjected to, but also it was used in the rabid dog scene in The Thing. Before this diverts into a history of KY jelly in cinema, I shall move on. James Cameron contributed to the concept of Predator's appearance. The creature's mandibles were his idea, and the director was a friend of both Schwarzenegger and the special effects artist on the film. They had previously worked together on Terminator. The original look for the creature was the result of budget cutting, and it was said to look like a man in a lizard suit with the head of a duck. Not really that menacing enough, so the appearance was refined. Jean-Claude Van Damme was initially the preferred choice to play Predator, although as the actors pitched against him would have towered above the athletic Van Damme. So Kevin Peter Hall, who was 7'2" in height, became the memorable creature. The costume weighed over 200 pounds and caused Hall to struggle. It meant that he was blinded when he was wearing it, causing him to hit Schwarzenegger several times during the fighting scenes. Hall also featured in the film towards the end in a rescue scene, as John McTiernan wanted the actor to be seen on screen out of the costume. All of the actors were given military training on location, and the director instructed them to undertake a vigorous regime together. Somewhat of a rivalry actually evolved between Dutch's character and Jesse Ventura, who played Blaine off set. The two actors had a competition over who had the most impressive arms, as you do, and Ventura believed that his was biggest, as his costume was an inch larger than that of his famous counterpart. However, when their arms were actually measured, Schwarzenegger's were the most voluminous. He had asked the wardrobe department to tell Ventura to the contrary. I also discovered that the conditions under which the actors worked on set caused the majority of the cast and crew to become ill due to the leech-infested stagnant water, which is gross. To conclude then, Predator is without doubt one of the most quoted films in its genre, and is certainly worth a watch, as it does not appear to take itself too seriously. I think maybe that is what we all need right now, a little bit of light comic relief in these uncertain times. I'm off to have a protein shake and to do some bench presses after watching that. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and thanks for watching. Bye!